here's the video to watch for anybody who wants to understand a measuring tape fully and truly. The first thing to notice is the whole numbers have the longest lines. Why is that? I'm going to show you. In the middle is the second longest line. This is 1/2. So watch how the lines grow. Here's 1/2. Well, this is 0. Technically, it's also 0 halves. Over here, this is 2 halves. When you cut a 1/2 inch in half, you get a 1/4 inch and you get 3/4 of an inch. But right in the middle is 2/4. Now, when you cut a 1/4 in half, 1/4, it becomes 1/8. That's right, the pattern is you multiply by 2 to make a piece half the size. So here's 1/8, here's 3/8, here's 5/8, and here is 7/8. Now, why are the 1/4 marks longer than the 1/8 marks? Because this 1/4 mark also represents 2/8 and 4/8. So half's getting even longer, 5/8. Now we got 6/8, 7/8, and over here I forgot to put 4/4, but it is also 8/8. Now the smallest mark you're going to see on your measuring tape starts in between 0 and 1/8. That, you guessed it, is 1/16, because a 16th is half the size of an 1/8. 8 times 2 is 16. It takes 2/16 to make 1/8. So 1/8, that's equivalent to 2/16. Let me just go through and put in the rest of the 16ths. They're always halfway between the 8ths. The fact that 1/16 is the shortest line is because only 1/16 is represented by that small line. 2/16 is equivalent to 1/8. 3/16 is a standalone fraction. 1/4 and 2/8 is also equivalent to 4/16. And yes, the numbers just doubled. The whole numbers are written next to the longest line, not below it, because the measuring tape is only so thick. Half is the longest line right in the middle between 0 and 1, or between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and so on. And every other line is generated by the quantity of equivalent fractions. Small, a little bigger, small, even bigger, small, bigger, small, biggest, small, a little bigger, small, even bigger, small, bigger, small, and the biggest. Does this look like the marks on a measuring tape? Absolutely. This is why. Understand that when you double the denominator, you're making the piece half the size, or twice as small. Now, the smallest tick marks that you see on the measuring tape are actually 30 seconds, which makes sense because what is 16 times 2? 32. So in here, in between every other tick mark is a 30-second. They're the smallest piece for the same reason I've been describing. There are 32 little gaps between 0 and 1, and 1 and 2, etc. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps when you look at the customary side of the measuring tape.